Hello, my name's Alex Josh. Welcome to Mindful AI Coding. So what is mindful coding? What are we talking about? So we mean this as a counterpart to the term vibe coding, right? So vibe coding kind of implies that you're not super serious about this and that you're just doing things on a whim and you tell AI to go off and build a thing and then magic happens. Uh, in our experience, if you're building a real application, especially like a SaaS application, which is what we're going to focus on here, it's not safe to just randomly throw code into the ether, right? It probably doesn't do exactly what you want. It may not be secure. It may have scaling, all kinds of issues, right? So the idea here is that instead of just doing a one shot with AI, you need to think about this a little more. You need to be mindful about your approach. And thus, it's a process. It's not just a magic bullet. And we see a lot of people online talking about AI as if AI was simple magic, right? That you can throw out a single prompt and then magic occurs. That's not really the case. However, you can absolutely build very meaningful, very powerful software using AI toolchains. You just have to have a little bit more forethought and you have to approach it with a little bit more rigor. And that's what we're going to talk about in this series of courses. Now, this is not for experts. If you've been writing code for a long time and you're hand coding up, your sites, and you've been doing this forever, and you know all about how to do this, then this probably is a little bit too basic for you, right? This course is designed for people that have some knowledge, that have an interest in getting into this, but don't necessarily know all the ins and outs about the way these things works. So we're going to take it from a pretty generic level of knowledge and then work our way up to a fully running site. So why should you listen to me? What do I know? Who am I? Well, first of all, I've been in this business for 30 years, right? Long time. And I've seen things come, seen things go. It's our industry is lovely and wonderful and amazing, but it's also kind of insane at the same time, right? There's things that we say that just are obviously untrue. The hype cycle in our business is just completely out of control right now. But the reality is that there's underneath all that ridiculousness, underneath all that hype, there's some really truly amazing things that are happening. And the industry is changing in a very fundamental way right now. And that excites me. And that's what I want to talk about. My background is architecture, right? I was a principal architect for many years. I used to teach architecture. And so when I look at software, I look at the way the software is designed, the way it interconnects, the way it works. And in an AI context, that's super important. You need to understand the overall system design. Even if you don't know the intimate details of every single line of code, you still have to keep that design thinking in mind. And that's where I come from. And so for me, AI allows me to express my ideas in a very concrete way without actually taking the trouble to write every single line of code. So extremely powerful. After I was an architect, I was a product manager, a director of product manager at VMware for a while. I've built relatively large sites before. I was one of the members of the VMware Cloud AWS team. At the time, this was the largest cloud product that VMware had ever built, the most successful one. We did quite well with it. I moved on to HashiCorp, where I was one of the founding members of the HashiCorp Cloud Platform team, and we built that from zero to a very nice customer-facing cloud business as well. And then most recently, I was working on the agency team. Agency is an open source project for doing AI agent management, things like that. So I have experience in the AI side of things and the SaaS side, product management side. So I think those skills and experience kind of help me explain how you can go about doing this in a very, very safe, very measured, and very repeatable way, which is what we're going to talk about. So who is this class for? Why did I build this thing? Well, I started off building just for product managers, right? So I'm able to build software by myself, and it's exciting to me, and I think other people will be excited as well. So I started off just with that thought, well, what would other product managers need to know to build software using AI toolchain? But as I started getting into this, I realized that actually marketers, designers, business analysts, other people who are in the industry, even if you're not a developer, you really can build sites on your own now. So I think some industry knowledge is required. I mean, coming into this completely from scratch, if you've never done it before, it's a bit of a stretch. There's a lot of things to know. There's a lot of parts and pieces. But if you know the fundamentals, you've been in the business, You, even if you're not writing code every day, these kinds of things are now within our reach. And I think the idea here is that there's a lot of people out there that want to build side projects or even an MVP. That's something that most of us can do now with this tool chain. It really wasn't possible before. Of course, when I say MVP, I mean minimal viable product, so something new to market. Uh, at scale, as you grow, as you become an actual business, there's a lot of technical complexity there around scaling, around security, around running a business of scale. That's quite difficult. You may not be able to do that by yourself. But building an MVP is relatively easy, is possible with the tool chain. And we're going to focus on that side of the business. We're not going to talk about ultimate scale. We're not going to talk about becoming a $100 million business. We're going to talk about how you introduce your first product to market. And that's really the focus of this courseware. So based on that, hopefully you're interested in this and hope you follow through. In the detail section below, you'll see all the other courses in this series, and they're set up to go in order and they're numbered. So I hope you enjoy this, and I look forward to talking to you further. Thank you very much for listening.